Part 2, Typography Basics. So let's get our typography file open in Adobe Illustrator. And what we need to do is get this other page here of the type source. Here's page 1. Here's page 2. We need to get page 2 on its own layer in Adobe Illustrator. And so let me just show you how to do that, and we'll start doing some of these things, and we'll learn about kerning and tracking with this next assignment. So let's go back to Adobe Illustrator, and right now this is just a one-page document, and we have two layers. We have the typography layer and we have the source layer. So the stuff that you created was on your typography layer, and the ones that you were supposed to use the idea from is on the source layer. Okay, so let's get that other document in here, and I just noticed something, that this font was very thin looking, so I noticed that there's a white stroke on there. So you can get rid of that stroke and it will make that text look like normal text. Let's look at this one. Okay, that one doesn't have a stroke. Well, anyway, let's make this a two-page document. Well, when you're starting out Adobe Illustrator and you go File, New, you can tell it how many artboards you want. And that's a cool way to do it when you know what you're going to do. But if you don't know what you're going to do, you can just start with one artboard, and I'll show you how to make it two-page at this point. So what you want to do is you want to go to Document Setup right here. You could also find it also under the File and go to Document Setup here, but we'll just click the shortcut button, and then you have to click on Edit Artboards. And so we're going to make a copy of this artboard. We're going to use the tool that it's on right here. We're going to hold the Option or the Alt key, and we're just going to click and drag just right out to the side, and it will make a copy of the artboard. So now we have two. And at this point, it's interesting because the artboards don't have to be the same size. So you can have different size artboards here in Illustrator, and that was the one thing you can't do at the beginning. You set how many artboards you want, and they're all the same size. This way, you can have different size ones. You can have one for a letterhead, one for a business card, one for an envelope. I'm going to undo this. We're going to have it the exact same page. Now I'm going to just click on the selection tool, the black arrow tool, and it will get us to here. I'll zoom out, hitting Apple minus, Command minus, and I'm going to just select all this because we don't need this, and we'll delete it. So now I'll go back to File. I'm going to go File, Place, and I'm going to place this type basic source back inside the document, and I'm not going to use page 1, but I'm going to use page 2. And then I'm going to slide this up in place. Now I want you to notice one thing over here on the layers. You see how this now, the source is not on the source layer, it's on the typography layer. So if you check your source and you're trying to compare your source to what you've done, you're unable to do that. So what we need to do temporarily is unlock the source, click on this page that we're going to recreate, and it lights up as a red icon here on your layers. You see how this is a red bounding box? And then if you click on one of the things that you designed here, it's on a red bounding box, red bounding box, red bounding box. But the source here, the stuff on the source layer, is a blue bounding box. So let's go to this one, which is supposed to be on the source layer, and it lights up in red, and you just slide it right down to the source layer like that. So now you have these things on the source layer where they're supposed to be, and the stuff that you created is on the typography layer. See how that works? Now what you want to do is go ahead and re-lock that source layer so you don't accidentally put things on that source layer and you can't compare. So now I'm going to click back on the typography layer, and we can compare what we've done. So now we've set up the file so that you can now work on this page 2 with a source layer, and we just start creating all this stuff on top of it.